Legal no-nos in marriage, family matters. So it's written by Alicia Thomas in the Jamaica Observer newspaper. What is one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made when it comes to your legal rights, marriage, spousal, common law, or navigating the courts that you would warn other women about? Or it's focused on women. It's a question we ask some women, divorced, married, and in child custody situations, and they encourage other women to heed these warnings. Child support from a parent overseas. This is Faith, 47 years old. Get it early, and no matter where in the world the other parent is, it's possible to get it. I was able to get support from a father in a state that was not a reciprocating state by approaching the child support agency in the state the father resides. After years of the local family court telling me they couldn't help, that is the Jamaican family court, one day I got frustrated and reached out to the state agency myself. Within weeks, I had a child support order with arrears. I just wish I had pushed much sooner because my child is almost an adult. Imagine if I had pushed earlier. I would have benefited from her father's help in the years I struggled alone. Alright. So here, even if one of the parents is overseas, you can still get child support, legal child support from them. The next issue here, changing name after marriage. Janice, 32 years old. Don't do it. You will need to change your TRN, driver's license, bank accounts, bank account signature, passport, visa, and everything you have to your married name, and then it will be held to change it back after a separation or divorce, or as you will have to retrace all these steps. Even if you do change your name, don't change it on your legal documents. But couldn't that result in some problems too? The legal documents being different from bank accounts and so on. The next issue here, the 50-50 rule. So the 50-50 rule is in the Property Rights of Spouses Act. I've read the entire Property Rights of Spouses Act as one of the playlists on this channel. Paula, 27 years old. Once you're married, you're a union, so neither you nor your spouse can hide funds from each other or invest funds into any asset without your spouse's consent. Everything is 50-50. However, this 50-50 rule, the 50-50 rule in the Property Rights of Spouses Act applies to the family home and shares in it. But we continue here. However, this 50-50 rule does not apply to your spouse's commercial property or business. If you have contributed, for example, to building the business, you will have to produce evidence to that court of the contribution made in the acquisition of the property to determine what you're entitled to in the event of your divorce. Okay. Although, from my understanding though, that in addition to proving your financial contribution to the business, whatever advice you might have given, the court would also consider your work in the house in terms of taking care of children and other things that frees up the other spouse to build up their business. Right? Okay. The other issue now, child support in Jamaica. Unmarried, 30 years old. Get a lawyer and go to the Supreme Court instead of the family court. Well, that's her advice. Ensure, I guess this advice is from personal experience, her own personal experience. Ensure that it's a lawyer experienced in family law. Okay, you hear that? Not any lawyer, you know, when it comes to family law business. Make sure it is a lawyer experienced in family law. Ensure that you get support with a percentage increase every year and with discussions for college. All this can be done in one application to the Supreme Court without having to be going to the family court every time for an increase. Alright, so here, talking about the discussions for college. Remember now that the Maintenance Act, it forces you to maintain your child up to the age of 18 years of age. But if the child now is enrolled in a tertiary institution, a course of study, then you are now legally obligated to support the child up to age 23, as I've seen in the Maintenance Act. But then remember also, if the child has a mental or physical infirmity that prevents them from working and maintaining themselves, then you are legally obligated to maintain that child as long as they live. The next issue, prenups. A short word for prenuptial agreement. Catherine, 32. And in fact, I've read where in the USA, more and more couples who plan to get married are signing prenups. There's a drastic increase in the numbers. But we continue. Sign that prenup. This not only affects your financial relationships or rights to assets upon divorce, but can protect you from being responsible for their debts. Keep your property separate and limit their right to collect alimony. It keeps your property separate and limits their right to collect alimony in the event of divorce. Next issue, custody dispute. Lorraine, 45 years old. Say you have a custody order in Jamaica and want to send your child for visits to their parents overseas. So here, that would be their other parent, but you're in Jamaica, you have legal custody, but you send them to visit the other parent overseas. Before you do this, seek to have your Jamaican order filed in the court where the other parent resides. This ensures that there will be no issue if the other parent tries to retain your child. Okay. So that means if you are here and the other parent is overseas, you have custody here in Jamaica, you send the child to visit them for some time overseas, to come back on a certain date. You might, depending on the relationship, you might want to do this, right? To file the Jamaican order in a court that is over there, where the other parent resides, in case they want to keep the child and refuse from sending them back. The next issue, paternal alienation. Valerie, 37 years old. Whatever you do, do it in the best interest of the child and not of personal feelings. Don't try to alienate your child from the other parent or speak ill of the other parent. The children will grow up and hate you for it and make their own choices anyway. Alright, so these are the legal no-nos in a marriage, written by Alicia Thomas, writer in the Jamaica Observer.